to Sim UK and Project Cars 2. Now, last week was kind of a mixed bag, wasn't it? On one hand, I got to grips with the car. I also showed that I'm incredibly dominant in wet weather. And on the other hand, I spun the bloody thing out about 3 times. Maybe even 4 times. Anyway, despite being completely dominant and leading for the entire race by a good 5 to 10 seconds, I ended up finishing, I think, 6th in the end. And incidentally, I don't know if anybody noticed or not, but during qualifying I was actually fastest, but penalised 2 places. And I can only assume that that was because I was speeding in the pit lane or something along those lines. Anyway, this week, if we just go back into... Oh, before I do that, actually, some people have asked me what my settings are, what my configuration settings are. Now, I'm using a Logitech G29, and these are in no way are they definitive. These are not my final settings. These are just what I'm using right now, and I'm quite happy with them, although I am starting to think about tweaking them and sorting them out. Now, there are some issues around Logitech steering wheels that Project Cars are looking into. I haven't experienced any of the issues that have been mentioned, but there are some issues. But that's not what this video is about. So I've got, it's almost default, to be honest with you. Steering dead zone is set to 0. Now, there is a bit of play in the G29 in the middle, which is really annoying. It's not a direct drive steering wheel. That does detract, not just from this game, but all games, to be honest with you. All driving games suffer with that on a G29. So this is just my default setup, which I think is pretty much default. The only thing I've changed is clutch sensitivity. So yeah, the clutch in Project Cars 2 is an absolute mess. It really is, and I don't like it at all. It's almost unusable, to be quite honest with you. But I haven't found any way of fixing that problem. That's just something Project Cars are going to have to address themselves. So what have we got here? Force feedback settings, I guess. Raw. I don't know why it was on informative. I set that to raw, and it seems to have changed itself. So everything is set as is at the moment. Although I have come across some very decent